Block party turning up the volume. Miller on the slide. Game, set, match.
Spectacular crowd inside Mackey Arena. Purdue builds a huge lead.
It's all! The hammer! Purdue is going to beat Tennessee here at the Broadway Block Party.
It is down. History for Dave Shondell. The all-time wins leader at Purdue.
Welcome back to the Dig City Podcast, postseason edition, brought to you by... Unfortunately, yeah. We got a lot of great stuff to talk about, but it does start there, Coach. We're brought to you by Franciscan Health, the official medical provider of Purdue Athletics. I'm Corey Palm. He's head coach Dave Shondell. And first of all, Coach, just got to start with congratulations on a fantastic season. I know there were a lot of disappointed people last week, but there weren't a whole lot of... angry people last week. You guys played your butts off.
There's a fine line there.
There sure is. There is. You played your butts off and made us all proud.
I sat in a chair when I got home after the flight, and we had a hard time getting home, by the way. There was a blizzard in Pittsburgh that I thought it impacted the crowd a little bit.
Yeah.
And then for our bus to get from Pitt's campus, the Peterson Center, to the airport was about an hour and 10 minutes. Which is normally about a 20-minute deal. And then all of the work getting the plane ready to go, and by the time we got home, it was got home about 2 a.m. in the morning, and I sat down in my recliner, and all I could think about was how fulfilled I was with what had happened this season. And, we lost to Pitt, who's a team that's been now to the Final Four 5 years in a row, and that's who you want to be.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the program you want to be, and we really haven't been that far from where Pitt has been. We've actually had a longer tenure of being really good than what they have. But as I mentioned, I think in my press conference that Dan Fisher has just done an unbelievable job. Pittsburgh was just an average, Power 5 back then. Program, and he's been able to get the players there and train them and strategize and get to where they are now. But we couldn't get past them. I thought we gave a gutty effort and just could not find ways to win 3 sets. And a lot of that was Babcock. They're the National Player of the Year from last year, and most likely the National Player of the Year this year. I think that's down to her and Mimi Collier, who's at Wisconsin, would be the two front runners for that. Collier's a great player. We certainly, when we played them, had a little more success with Collier than what we were able to have with Babcock. Babcock just plays so high above the net and can hit angles and do things that are really difficult to stop. And for 2 sets, matter of fact, in the first set, we had 19 kills in the first set. 19 kills. And we get beat 25-21.
Yep.
I mean, we're doing everything we can do. But they had Babcock. And we had 4 service errors, which is not a problem because we're having to serve tough. We can't let them run their offense and have the flexibility to do what they want to do. But anyway, last match of the year was a tough loss, but there were there were some tears in the locker room. People are playing their last college matches and so forth, but the feeling was, man, what a year we had.
Yeah.
That America got to see what this team could do, and players came out of nowhere. It was an unheralded bunch to start the season. Would you agree?
I would agree.
Not a single person made the all-preseason Big Ten team. Nobody.
Picked, I believe, 7th in the preseason Big Ten poll.
Was it 7th?
I believe it was 7th.
That was very kind of them.
Middle of the pack, to say the least.
But anyway, at the end of the year, and as I'm sure we'll talk about here, when you start talking about all Big Ten honors and you talk about all America honors, we've had some people, emerge in America's eyes.
Yeah, that's for sure. We will talk about honors in the second half of the show. A lot has transpired and continues to transpire. We're taping this on a Tuesday afternoon.
As the weather is warming up outside.
Finally, it's actually sunny out and temperatures above the single digits.
Beautiful West Lafayette.
We will take it, given what we've had, for sure. Let's go all the way back, Coach, to the regional semifinal, that match with SMU.
Rematch.
A rematch with SMU, same result. Boilers in 4, but it did not start off well. We'll say that much.
Well, when you're down 17-4 on national TV, you start to wonder how the night's going to go.
Yeah.
But SMU was a team that we beat early in the season, third weekend of the season down in Lexington, Kentucky. And I was shocked when we beat them that first time because that was not the kind of team we were supposed to be beating.
Right.
I thought we caught them at the right time, 11 o'clock in the morning. That would have been maybe 10 o'clock their time or whatever the difference is between Lexington and Dallas, Texas. But it was a huge win, really one of the biggest wins that I could recall in the 23 years I've been at Purdue for this team to do something like that early after losing a truckload of top players the year before. So I knew that they would come out ready to play. They got a fiery coach, and they got some tough kids on that team. And so I knew they would come out ready to play, and they did. And we couldn't pass a serve, and I just didn't, in no way did I have them ready to play. And so that's my son Kyle trying to call me. So. But after we got down 17-4, we played pretty good volleyball from that point on, and we actually came back to make it 25-16. So you can do the math on how we outscored them the rest of that first set. And from that point on, it was pretty smooth sailing. We got great performances from our pin hitters. Kenna Woolard hit 480 for the weekend, by the way.
Before we get away from the SMU match, I want to talk about that fourth set because your Boilermakers won sets 2 and 3, and then it comes into every point at the end of set 4 was just an epic battle, back and forth. It goes up to 29-27 before the Boilermakers were able to close it out. Just the intensity
Won it on
of
an
that.
off-speed shot.
Yeah.
Because it was funny because people were just hammering balls back and forth. And then finally we get in a transition play where Cash Anderson goes up and just tips one soft. Wasn't a great tip. Fortunately, their blocker reached around to play it when they had a player that was right there, and the ball caroms off her hands, goes to the floor, and Purdue goes to the Elite Eight. It was for the first time, I think, since 2021.
Yeah, it was 21
at Pitt.
At Pittsburgh. That's
Different
right.
gym.
Yep, that's correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Different gym, different setup, similar situation. You beat BYU in 5 in the semifinals there to face the Panthers. Yeah. So Boilermakers advance.
I think both years we were the 3 seed.
I believe so.
I know we were the 3 this time, and they were the 2. Matter of fact, it was a year where I think all 4 3 seeds beat the 2 seeds in the semifinal round of the regional.
That
Wisconsin did it.
Wisconsin did.
Pitt did it. A&M did it, and somebody else did. A&M beat beat Louisville, and who's the team that we're forgetting?
From 21.
No, from this year.
From this year.
I'm talking about this year.
Yeah, the I got the bracket right here. Creighton.
Okay.
Creighton took out Arizona State. That was the other 3 over 2.
Which really, that was Creighton should have been seated higher than Arizona State, in my opinion. The Big 12 was a lot like I thought they were, a good league, but not a great league. And I kept seeing, all those teams that got in the tournament. They got 10 teams in the NCAA tournament. And when I watched them on TV, I thought they were all good, but I thought there were some areas that you could attack with all of those teams. And I guess did we beat one of them? Oh, we beat Baylor.
Yep, we beat
in
Baylor
to get to the regional round. But Baylor was pretty darn good. I mean, I'm not saying they weren't good. I'm just saying that they may have been slightly overseeded to get that many teams in and then to have them where they were. Because I don't think that there are any left at this point.
Yeah, no, there are not. That's the power conference that's left out right now. There's 2 SEC, 1 Big Ten.
Not being critical
ACC.
of the Big 12. Please don't misunderstand
course.
me. You got 10 teams in, and I think 10 teams deserve to get in. But I think Arizona State was probably the top dog, and Kansas was probably right after that. And then you had about 8 of them that were right there, kind of in the murky water.
So you guys. You advance to the regional final, take on Pitt. You know what you're facing. That's a quick turnaround against a number 1 seed on their home floor. What is that process like for you and the staff and the team?
Well, you have to get your team ready. Luckily in the regional round you have a day off because it's really hard if you play that match that got over about 11:30 at night, okay, or later. because we played
It
the
was
9:30
late-
match.
yeah,
So
late
it's almost
start.
midnight. By the time you get back to the hotel, it's well after 1 o'clock. So to be expected to turn around and play the next day would have been really hard. So we got the day off. One of the beautiful things, Corey, was that the two teams we played out there were similar in how they were built. Malaya Jones, the right side player for SMU, is one of the 4 best players in the country, in my opinion. Okay? We had to prepare for a right side player that they were going to set all the way around the court. All 6 rotations, Malaya Jones was going to get the ball. Now, they had some other horses.
Sure, yeah.
Right? But that's who we had to set our defense up around. So that system works fairly well. We finally wore Jones down. She's about a 390 hitter on the year. She hit 330 against us. Now, she was hitting at a really high percentage for the 2 sets. But we finally kind of broke her down a little bit to where we could contain her. Well, when you turn the page and you go now to Pitt, they've got Olivia Babcock, who's in the same position as Malaya Jones was, and they're basically setting her about the same amount of balls.
All the way around, yeah.
Now, they might have a little bit, well, they do have a little bit better personnel in the other spots. And had more on the left side. They had a right side player named Bree Kelly, tremendous middle offensive player that also is a great blocker. And then they had the left sides that we were hoping we would be able to dig at a high level because we were going to be laying off of them with our block to go cheat a little bit and get out on Babcock. Well, Babcock hits about 690 in the first 2 games despite this great game plan that we had come up with, okay, to try to contain her. But when your block is a decent block, but it's only blocking about this high, and she's hitting over the top of the block or she's hitting the angles around the block, it makes life very difficult for you. And she was just on a mission. I heard from the TV announcers that the night before they didn't feel like they played very. 2 nights before against Minnesota, they weren't happy with the way they played. And Babcock said we had a terrible warm-up.
Oh, okay.
And she knew in the warm-up they weren't ready to play. And she was going to guarantee those TV announcers that they were going to have a great warm-up the next match. And then on TV they showed her giving the announcers the thumb up, like they've had their great warm-up.
Oh, okay.
And so I think that they were a little bit more engaged to play us, and she certainly was because she was unstoppable. Now, in the next 2 sets, we brought her down a little bit, but that's when their left side started throwing some balls around. They end up beating us a little bit on our game. We're supposed to be a great defensive team, and we mixed shots up really well against SMU 2 nights before. They come out, and when they start going to their left sides and some to their middles, they start throwing balls in what people call the donut. It was a little bit deeper than that to what I call the death triangle, okay? And we're standing around flat-footed watching the ball hit the floor, which is very uncharacteristic about our defense. But the way that we were going to have to be able to beat them was we would be leaning towards Babcock, wherever she was, and if they got out there, we had to do it the very best we could, but our backcourt was going to have to make some plays. We just didn't make enough plays to make it work.
It's tough when you put together a game plan that, given the personnel you're going against, maybe the best game plan you've got still might not be enough.
As a coach, you have to make a decision. If the team has a little more talent than you do, and even if they don't, I mean, we may be playing middle of the road teams in the Big Ten or even lower level teams in the Big Ten. We're going to be a team that's going to take some risks. We're going to scheme block most of the time because that's just who we are.
Right.
And we can read block some, but at certain times against the best players on the other team, there's going to be some schematics involved in it. And in this case, I wouldn't say it backfired on us. I just think we didn't execute it well enough, to be honest.
Yeah.
The backcourt didn't execute well enough. There were times when our block didn't do exactly what they were supposed to do. And at the end of the day, when you're playing a team that's playing at a high level, you screw up, 7 or 8 times, and that's enough to make a difference in the match. But I didn't think we played a bad match. I thought we played a fairly clean, aggressive match that I was really pretty proud of when it was all over. We just got beat by a better team.
And sometimes that will happen in sports. Yeah. You face a team that's as good as or a little bit better than you on paper, and they perform well. You can do what you can do.
Well, yeah, and another thing that going into those matches or when the match is over, how many times has a team, a team lower seeded team, won in the regional on the home team's floor? Well, hardly ever.
Hardly ever.
until the next night.
It happened twice on Sunday.
And then it happens twice when Wisconsin goes into Texas, Gregory Jim, and beats them, and then A&M, the match we talked about, goes into the Devaney Center and beats them in that classic match. So, but hardly ever.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm convinced that for the most part, the Final Four is determined when that seating committee puts their pens down.
I completely agree.
But this year it wasn't.
This year it wasn't.
But for the most part, 90% of the time, when they put their pens down and that thing goes out on ESPN's show after that Division II basketball game finally ends, then we know we got a good chance on who the Final Four is going to be. So I would love someday that this explosion of volleyball continues to where we don't have to play those matches in those. Now, this isn't sour grapes. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Okay, I would love to have those 4 matches at our place, and we may have gotten out of the second round because we played a good Baylor team in our gym. So I get that. Okay, but at some point in time, let's hope that we can do what women's basketball is doing, what men's basketball is doing, other sports may be doing, and that's play on neutral floors and still sell out arenas. I guess that's the dream.
That was the exact thought I had on Sunday watching the Nebraska match and seeing how well A&M was playing, and still that Nebraska crowd was off the charts amazing.
A&M was unreal, though.
A&M was unreal.
Unreal.
They were so good that night because and they had to be because they had to overcome a great Nebraska team and 8,000 crazy people in the stands, and that's a credit to Nebraska.
It wasn't a great Nebraska team on that particular night.
It was not. That's true.
They did not play well in that particular night, and. But when you've beaten everybody all year long, sometimes you think that you are invincible. Mm-hmm. And then you get a team that comes in, it's playing so free and with such great confidence and just putting on a show. But what amazed me about that match, and I know this is a Purdue show, A&M wins the first 2, and they battle hard, and they lose the third, so everybody thinks, oh, it's going the other way. They have they're up, I think they're up like 22-14 in that fourth set. And here come the Huskers.
Yep.
And they battled back, and was it 39-37?
It was one of the most amazing sets I've ever seen. Yeah, 39-37
and they lose that one.
Final. They lose that
so
one.
Everybody in America thinks, here comes Nebraska. They're going to win this.
Yep.
Didn't happen. Jamie Morrison's team got it done, and they're in the Final Four. So
and then they got up pretty big in the fifth set.
Yeah, here they came.
And nearly lost that lead too, but closed it out at 15-13. So.
But that's a tough place to win in.
It is
really tough.
Yeah.
So is Gregory Jim.
That's why nobody does
in Texas, where the Badgers went down and won. I'm happy that the Badgers won. Mm-hmm. That they're in the show. It's Muncie versus Muncie in that match. Kentucky. Craig Skinner versus Sheffield and Johnny Shondell's Wisconsin Badgers. Brittany Dildine also on that staff.
Yeah.
So pulling for the Badgers. I wasn't even going to go to the NCAA Final Four this year, but when my brother John, who spent 21 years helping build this program to where it is right now, won that match, and Gregory Jim with the Badgers, I got my ticket right then.
Good.
To get out to Kansas City to watch that. So it will be a great Final Four.
A lot of Badger fans here in Indiana, I know for sure. But like you said, it's fun to see Muncie versus Muncie and that Dr. Don Shondell lineage just continuing to dominate collegiate volleyball.
They're still talking about it.
Yeah. As well they should. We're going to step aside. We're going to come back with there have been a whole lot of developments in the postseason awards area since we last got together, so we'll talk about that right after this.
The Dig City Podcast is brought to you by Franciscan Health, the exclusive healthcare provider for Purdue Athletics. Franciscan, inspiring health, working for a better tomorrow. Go to franciscanhealth.org for more information. Now, back to the show.
This is a team sport, of course. Collegiate volleyball is one of the ultimate team sports. It's you only go as far as your collective group can take you, but they still give out individual awards at the end of the year. The team of the year is the national champion. Yeah. Individual awards matter as well, and since we last talked, the all-region teams were announced by the AVCA, and the Boilermakers very well represented in the Midwest region.
There's 10 regions now, and only the coaches from those regions vote for the respective players in that region. And I think they put 14 on the first team, and then there's an honorable mention group. I don't think there's a second team, is there, on that?
There is not, just first and honorable.
And so I think we had three. We had three make all-region.
Yep, three first-teamers.
And that region is everybody in Illinois, everybody in Indiana, everybody in Ohio, and I think West Virginia. So I'm not sure how many universities there are, Division I schools in that area, but it's a big. So to get three players from Purdue, and we got Kenna Woolard, who, by the way, was also
regional player of the year.
The region player of the year.
Yep.
What a lift that was.
Amazing.
And I thought that kind of skyrocketed her into the regional tournament, okay, where she got word that everybody in that region thought she was the best player in those 4 states. So that was pretty good. So Kenna makes all region. She's region player of the year. Grace Heaney makes all region. Taylor Anderson makes all region.
Yep.
And then honorable mention, did we have one or two?
We had one.
Okay, Ryan McAleer. Okay, so once again, Cash Anderson goes undetected.
Unbelievable.
Through the region.
Yeah.
And there's some news on that, too. She's got picked up by one of these pro teams.
Good.
Which was great. I talked to one of my former players who's on the same team, and I'm not going to name the team yet because I don't think it's out there officially, and I don't want to screw anything up from that standpoint. But Cash is going to be playing pro volleyball, and it's a new league, same league that Indy Ignite is in.
Okay.
Major League Volleyball,
Yep.
maybe. But they're changing names on me, and it's tough for me to stay with. But what a thrill that was for me and for Cash to find out that she's going to have a chance to play in that pro league. But did not make all region, which she probably should have.
Yeah. The other note to come out of the all-region selections last week was Dave Shondell, Midwest Region Coach of the Year. So congrats on that.
Thank you, Corey. There were a lot of coaches that did a great job, I thought,
were.
in our region. And I thought in Bloomington, Steve Aird was one of them. And Steve has taken that team. It's taken some time, but he has got that team to where they went to the Sweet 16. They lost to Texas 3-0, but they battled them tough. So Steve certainly was worthy of that kind of an award also.
You guys go to the Pittsburgh Regional, and then the all-regional team, not to be confused with the all-region team, is announced
based on the four
well.
teams in that, how they performed in that event.
Yeah. And again, the Boilermakers, I believe you got 3 on the all-region team?
Taylor, Cash, and Ryan. Is that right?
You know what?
I think that's what it was.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, and really that's probably what it should have been. Those 3 were awfully good. Ryan really, I thought, caught a lot of attention out there with the way she played. Really playing with a ton of confidence. And what a great thing to know. For 2 more years we've got that kind of a libero. I know our fans love her,
Yep.
and she's turned into a tremendous player. And then the other 2 were Cash. That was bombing balls all weekend long.
She looked so good last weekend.
And then Kenna Woolard, who I mentioned, hit .480 against those 2 teams. That's just unbelievable. But again, she got her confidence back and played like she was playing for most of the season. And good for her. What a great year she's had.
No doubt. Just a ton of fun to watch. All 3 of them play and perform at the level they did. You've been saying
we didn't back down from anybody
No.
in Pittsburgh. We didn't play maybe as well as we could have defensively against some of those off-speed shots, but we let the fur fly.
Yep.
A funny story, Corey. Funny for me. It may not be funny for everybody, but we're going through the game plan and we're putting the plan together, watching tape, and John Klanick, who's made a huge contribution to the success. He's our assistant coach that came in from Rice University, played at Ohio State, won a national championship over there. But he's talking about that this is one of the best blocking teams, Pittsburgh, in the country.
Yep.
And talking to the ACC coaches that he talked to, how well they block, and we've got to be really careful with what shots we're hitting and this kind of stuff. And he gets through there. Whole time he's talking, sometimes I shake my head without even knowing it, but I'm shaking my head. And he gets done, and finally I say, let me just say one thing, okay? If I was Kenna Woolard or Cash Anderson or Grace Heaney, who have been having the kind of years that they've had, I wouldn't let anybody tell me I'm going to be blocked.
Yep.
Okay, I wouldn't let anybody try to tell me that I'm not going to be. So John opened the door for me to kind of really get these guys fired up, that we're not going to be intimidated by anybody. Yeah, that we're not going to hit the ball right in the heart of the block. We're going to go out there and we're going to hit balls off hands. We're going to hit sharp angles. We're going to do all the things we've been doing all year long to beat people. And I thought offensively, wow, did those left side hitters put on a clinic. Poor Dan Fisher down there he was losing his mind watching all those balls go off the periphery of the block. So it was just a lot of fun that John did a great job of preparing him, but then I come in and say, bull crap.
Wipe it out.
Yeah, we're going after people.
Well, and the stats were on your side. Your Boilermakers outblocked them 11-7 in that match.
Had a good blocking weekend. We outblocked SMU a lot worse than that.
Yeah, it was 13-7 in that one.
And so against two good big physical teams for us to be in the right spot at the right time was pretty good.
I actually thought the block made a huge difference in the middle of that SMU match.
Turned the game around.
It did, yep.
A girl named Dior Charles, whose name hasn't been mentioned in any of these all-region or whatever else, but it's going to be next year.
So glad
it's going to happen. It will be next year.
We'll talk. We've got plenty of time to talk about next year's roster, but man, is it loaded for bear for the Boilermakers next fall. So we got through the all-region. We got through the all-regional team. AVCA All-Americans are being announced this week in advance of the national championship weekend. Right. And again,
we have a heads up on that.
We do have a bit of a heads up. We're taping this again on Tuesday afternoon. It'll be in. By the time you see this podcast, it will be released. It's not official. It's not public yet, but we do have a heads up on it.
It'll be public by the time they
know.
They see this.
They're seeing behind the curtain.
The millions of people that are watching this will get a little bit of a heads up maybe before they get it on somewhere else.
Yeah,
possibly.
There you go.
Possibly.
Two Boilermakers on the All-America second team.
And let me preface for our fans, 14 players in America make the first team. Mm-hmm. That's a small All-American list, okay? 14 players make first team All-America, and then 14 make second team, 14 make third team, and then there's an honorable mention list. That's not nearly as long as it used to be.
Right. It used to be, correct me if I'm wrong, if you were All-Region,
I think you got on
basically
I think you're right.
Mention.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
They're not passing out candy anymore for that like that. But the good news is, I thought Kenna Wooler was a borderline first, second team. The committee, whoever that is, I don't even know who's on the committee. Mm-hmm. It's about 12, 15 people. They felt like there were 14 better than Kenna. So Kenna makes the second team, which is awesome.
It's fantastic.
Unheralded.
Nobody's radar coming in, yep.
Taylor Anderson, second team. So two of the top 28 players in the country are two juniors from Purdue University. Yep. And then third team, Grace Heaney, redshirt sophomore, didn't even play last year.
Yeah.
Okay, was nursing a shoulder surgery. And then haven't heard about honorable mention, have you?
Have not yet.
Okay, so I don't know yet. Sorry, so, we could have somebody on honorable mention. We just don't know yet. But as soon as we find out, we'll get that information to our fans. But just really proud of the fact that these three players, set the tone for our program and got the attention of America. And again, they're all three coming back.
Yep.
To be Boilermakers. Nobody's made any phone calls to me yet, okay, like last year, saying, sorry, friends, but we're going to be somewhere else.
Yeah.
As far as I know, they're all coming back, but stranger things have happened.
Definitely, and we'll watch for those developments. Those are alerts we hope not to receive this year, because you look at this team and
this team loves each other.
How awesome is that?
It's funny. I could give you some examples of some things, but it's a remarkable feeling to have a team that cares that much about each other. And it wasn't anything I did. Mm-hmm. I think part of it was they were trying to help me. Okay, that was, that they saw the old ball coach get hammered last year with some departures, and they rallied. Okay, and the transfers that came in, they rallied. And the freshmen, the 5 freshmen that didn't even play this year, which is hard to do, okay, redshirt and play, they rallied. Mm-hmm. And it was just something unlike I've ever seen before, and I'm just so thankful. Well,
and part of them rallying and part of the season going the way it did, the other piece of news that you sort of broke after the match.
I did break.
A contract extension came your way.
Oh, I didn't break that, did I?
Well,
I did on a press release.
I saw, yeah, the press release
conference. Yeah, no, I didn't know you were going there today. Mike Babinski and I had a real good conversation after the regional tournament was over.
Okay.
It was after that, I think maybe a day or two after that, and we're looking at how the portal hurt us last year, and I just said, I think it would be a good idea if we sent a message that the old ball coach is going to be here for a while, and that we don't have to have any of these players nervous that, well, I don't know if he's going to be there, and it doesn't take much anymore. Okay. Now I think this team is solid as a rock, but so anyway, got a new contract. It's a 2-year extension. I had 2 years left already.
Okay.
So you add 2 years to that. I think that makes 4.
4.
And
not great at math,
we'll
but
see
yes.
if I'm still alive in 4 years. But if that's the case, then and I'm still doing the job that I need to do, then I don't want to leave this team. It's just too valuable of a team. But the other news is that broke yesterday is that we have the National Assistant Coach of the Year. Cat Jewell
Huge.
was named the National Assistant Coach of the Year. And I just think that's fantastic. Here's a person that's given 23 years to this university and doesn't want to go be a head coach. Mm-hmm. She loves what she's doing. This is a role that's designed for her. She's kept me going in the right direction, and she does a lot of the crap that nobody in our office wants to do. But she wants to get it done right, mm-hmm. and she's just been phenomenal. She's a recruiter that's brought in a lot of the the players, or at least turned me on to a lot of the players that are out there that we've ended up bringing into Purdue. So she told me that last night. We had a big staff party. I don't know if you were there or not.
I was not.
Okay, great turnout, all athletic staff party down at where was it at?
It was at Ripple & Company.
Yeah,
downtown.
Ripple & Company, great place, and. She walks in and she says, "You're not going to believe this." And she shows me her phone, and there's the letter. And I thought, what a great moment. That was such a great moment. And so later on, when they started giving out some of the door prizes at the Mike Babinski Athletic Department Christmas or holiday dinner.
Holiday extravaganza, right.
I grabbed the microphone and I make that announcement, and the whole place was chanting, "Cat, cat, 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 cat." So it was a lot of fun, and so happy for her. So we did okay on the awards.
Yeah,
did all right.
Which is only fitting given the way the season went. Going to be one of the fondest memories probably of your tenure this season.
It is for a lot of people. I could show you my phone and tell you how many people have reached out and just said this was the most enjoyable team they've ever watched at Purdue. I'm going to say it again. I've never gotten that before.
Yeah.
The pace that we got this year, how much they enjoyed watching this team, and how they love watching a team that really cares about each other and helps each other and picks each other up and laughs and smiles. And laughing and smile, as you know, sometimes that bothers me a little bit, but our fans loved it. Our fans loved it, and a lot of people say more matches in Mackey Arena. So we'll see where we go with that. But I think if the fans come, we'll play. We'll play more in Mackey.
Well, we can't wait to see how next season shapes out, whether it be in Holloway or Mackey.
Well, here's what I can tell you about next year. The Big Ten's going to be a lot tougher.
Yeah,
I thought it was just a very average year as far as the level of
a little more top heavy than normal.
Well, with one team mostly, they were top heavy. Nobody could stay with Nebraska, but I think next year, of course, Nebraska loses 2 players, basically 2 really good players. Mm-hmm. Everyone else is back. They've got players that didn't even play much this year that are really outstanding. So they'll still be the top dog. But then you have Wisconsin returns a bunch back, plus a player, the player they spent a lot of money to get. That didn't play this year because she tore an ACL as soon as she got there. She'll be back playing, a really good right side player. Minnesota played all those freshmen. They lose 2 good players. They lose their outside hitter that was outstanding, and Lourdes Myers as well. Mm-hmm. But they return a bunch. Penn State's already picking up people on the portal, setter from Florida, and I know they're hoping to get somebody else that might go along with that. But a lot of really good teams going to be going at it. It's going to be different next year. The competition will be better. But here's what I think. I think we're going to be better.
I think so too.
We've got a lot of young players that haven't even been seen yet in that freshman class. We got people that are going to get better. Grace Heaney had a great year, but the shoulder was never 100%. It was never 100%. You don't come off that kind of a surgery and all of a sudden, be perfect.
Right.
And Grace is not real burly. Okay, she's a fairly
physical.
thin gal, and we need to get that shoulder even a little more stronger, and then I think she could become a first-team All-American type player. I really do. But we have a lot to work with. This spring will be fun. Big roster. I think we'll have 16, 17 players here this spring. When we play in some of these spring tournaments, we might even just make 2 teams.
Yeah.
To me, that makes sense. Why just have 1 team? Why not have 2 teams and let everybody play as much as possible?
Sounds like quite a different approach than some past springs where you're struggling to fill out one.
Like the first year I got here, we couldn't even have a team.
Yeah.
We didn't have enough healthy players
people
to even play. We tried, but that didn't work out very well. But let's talk just at the end here, unless you got something I'm missing.
Nope.
Final Four. Your thoughts on that, and tell our listeners who's playing, and we can kind of hash it out and figure out who's going to win this thing.
Yeah, phenomenal Final Four. A couple surprise teams with A&M and Wisconsin coming in as the 3 seeds. Kentucky, of course, as a pretty dominant 1 seed. They looked really, really strong last weekend.
They haven't played anybody super tough yet.
True.
Creighton, I thought Creighton might give them something, but they really didn't.
They didn't.
So I give Kentucky a lot of credit for how they women-handled Creighton, because I thought Creighton might be able to give them a pretty good match. It didn't happen in is it Memorial Gym, the Coliseum? What do they call that down in Kentucky?
You got
Memorial Coliseum.
Singing,
maybe both.
You're throwing all
maybe
sorts of
Memorial
curveballs at me
Coliseum.
right now. It is, come on. It's got to be here in the notes. Historic Memorial Coliseum.
Okay, so I had it right.
You had it right. Yeah, the Wildcats will take on Wisconsin. The other semifinal is Texas A&M against Pitt.
Which one's first?
A&M versus Pitt is at 6:30 Eastern on the 18th, which is Thursday.
So that's the first match.
That's the first match.
That's going to be a dandy. I mean, first of all, if A&M plays the way they played against Nebraska, just hitting on every cylinder, they win that match. I think Dan Fisher's going to make it really hard on them.
Yeah.
2 good coaches. I'm going to hold off on that one for a minute. Then you got the second match, and that's going to be the Muncie Fest.
The Muncie
the
Fest.
Magic City Miracle. It is a miracle to have 2 players out of the same town, one that played volleyball at Ball State, one that went to Ball State, and was actually at Ball State for a long time, by the way. That's my good friend Kelly Sheffield. But when he figured it out, he figured it out.
He did.
And he's just done both have done unbelievable jobs at their respective institutions. I think Wisconsin's had tougher tests along the way. Since their setter has been back, they've been nearly unstoppable.
Yep.
And I don't know who's going to win those 2 matches. What do you think? I'll commit here in a minute.
My heart's saying Wisconsin, but I've been thinking that Kentucky's the second best team in the country for a while.
I think the Vegas does have a line probably on this. I think Kentucky probably is a favorite to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
I would rank them as how I would look at it from just general. Kentucky, A&M, Wisconsin, Pitt. Pitt, Wisconsin, really close. Mm-hmm. But I think when you get to this deal on a neutral floor, anything can happen.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is all 4 of them are highly coached. I mean, just tremendous coaching staffs. Been there before, with the exception of Jamie Morrison. They've never been this far.
Right.
Never been to a Final Four. Hadn't even been to an Elite Eight, I don't think, until last time. So I don't know if that gives anybody an advantage or disadvantage. I think it's really hard to call. I'm going to go with my heart, and I'm going to go with my brother John, who's on the Wisconsin staff right now, and Brittany Dildine, who played here at Purdue, is on that staff as well. I'm going to go with my heart. I'm going to pick Wisconsin to win the whole thing.
Wisconsin to win the whole thing. Who you got in the other semi, Pitt or A&M?
I just saw A&M put on a show. Yeah. I'm going to say A&M, but Babcock is the best player in the country. So they've got to find a way to stop them. Now, their left side player, it's a matchup situation. Babcock is going to hit a lot from the right side of the floor. One left side blocker for A&M is big and physical, Stowers. The other one, I think it's Helmuth or something like that. Look up that roster.
It is, yeah, Emily Helmuth.
Okay, not big and physical. Matter of fact, sometimes they'll take her out to bring in a blocking sub for her. Great offensive player. So they're going to have to get the right matchups. And Dan Fisher likes to start with Mosier, the transfer from Illinois, as their first server. So there's been some consistency in that. So I think that if you're A&M, you might be able to get the matchup that you want. Will that help you or not? I don't know. But that's going to be crucial. But like I say, A&M was hitting on all cylinders.
They look so good. I think they're probably due for a bit of a come back to earth moment, and Pittsburgh maybe gets over the hump.
Yeah,
because they've made 5 straight.
I can't wait. I'm glad I'm going out.
It's going to be great. You're going to enjoy the heck out of it.
I think those are 4 evenly matched teams, more than you've seen since I can remember, and it should be fun. I'm not going to be out there for the finals, unfortunately. We're having Christmas Day out on Sandy Beach Lane on Lake Freeman, so we'll have 10 grandkids and 4 of my children and their spouses, and who knows who else might show up.
Way more important.
But that's where I'll be, and then fortunately heading south for Florida after that's over. So got a lot to look forward to. Just so grateful for what our fans did to come out and support this team this year. We do have unbelievable fans. I'm not going to say we have more fans than everybody, because we know Nebraska's got more fans than everybody. And they've made it easy. You know, that team has made it really easy for fans to jump on them. But we're Purdue, and we don't win every time we step on the floor, but we're trying to. And this team was a great example of what Purdue can do when we do all the right things.
Ton of fun to watch, Coach. We will leave it right there for Season 7 of Dig City. We'll get back with you.
First of all, appreciate the people that listen to this podcast. And the numbers indicate somebody is.
A lot of people are.
Surprises us. But they are listening, and I hope they'll continue to do so after this broadcast.
Me too. A good number of them have come up.
Happy holidays to everybody, and enjoy the time with family and friends. And we look forward to seeing you after the new year.
Sounds great, Coach.
Boiler up.